Welcome everybody to Monica's Mayhem, and this is another MonicaVerse What If. And here we delve back into the Star Wars with this story of what if Mace Windu became Darth Vader instead of Anakin Skywalker. It is an interesting concept. I sat down and wrote this. It's a short story, but I hope you enjoy it. As you can see from the cover, I created that too. It's not a Marvel comic cover, but I think you will like it. So, welcome to Star Wars What If Mace Windu Became Darth Vader. Episode 3 Alternate Timeline, The Fall of the Purple Blade. Prelogue. The galaxy was dying for 3 long years. The Clone Wars has burned across the stars. Entire worlds collapsed under the endless conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Separatists. Millions suffered while politicians debated, and Jedi fought a war they were never meant to lead. And deep within the shadows, of Coruscant, Emperor Palpatine smiled, or should I say Chancellor Palpatine. Everything was proceeding as planned. Almost, because there was one problem. Anakin Skywalker was too unstable, too emotional, too reckless, too attached. Powerful, yes, perhaps the most powerful Jedi alive, but unpredictable. Palpatine needed someone else, someone disciplined, someone feared. Count Dooku was already gone. He needed someone already standing dangerously too close to the dark side. His eyes turned to one Jedi Master who has spent decades walking the razor's edge between control and fury. Mace Windu. The seeds of doubt. The Jedi Temple stood silent beneath the Coruscant night. Rain struck the towering windows of the High Council chambers, while Mace Windu stood alone gazing over the endless cityscape. Behind him, the holographic forms of the Jedi Council flickered softly. "Another system has fallen," said Master Yoda quietly. Mace folded his hands. "The Senate delays again while civilians die," Plo Koon added in. "Clouded, everything has become," Yoda replied. Mace's jaw tightened. Clouded. That was always the answer now. The Force was clouded, the future uncertain, the Senate corrupt. And meanwhile, the Jedi continued, losing control of the Republic they serve. Then, the final irritation. Anakin. Young Skywalker strode into the chamber, raving once again. Robes loose, expression irritated. Mace watched him coldly. Arrogant, emotional, dangerous, and yet the Chancellor trusted him. The Council spoke of him constantly. The chosen one, the prophecy, always Anakin. Never the Jedi who had held the order together through war. Mace said nothing, but resented quietly deepened. And far away, Palpatine felt it. The whispers of Sidious. Weeks passed. Palpatine began requesting private meetings with Mace Windu. At first, they discussed the war, then politics, then the few failures of the Jedi. Carefully, subtly, like poison in water. "The Jedi are stretched too thin," Palpatine said one evening beside the Senate balcony. Mace remained silent. "They have become soldiers instead of peacekeepers." Thus added Palpatine. You speak boldly for a politician, Mace added. Palpatine smiled faintly. I speak honestly. Mace turned toward him. And what honesty is that? Palpatine's eyes narrowed slightly. That the Jedi Council feels strength. Mace stiffened. They fear Anakin as well, Mace said softly. Yes, Palpatine said, but they still favored him. That landed harder than Mace expected. Palpatine approached him softly. You have sacrificed everything for the Republic, yet they speak endlessly of Skywalker. Mace's expression darkened. He is reckless. And yet they indulge him, Palpatine added. The Chancellor stepped closer again. Tell me, Master Windu, have you ever wondered why? Silence. Palpatine smiled inwardly. The crack was widening. Deep beneath the Jedi Temple training halls, Mace Windu fought alone. Purple lights exploded through darkness. His blade moved like controlled lightning. Form 7. Vapad, the Forbidden Edge. Each strike channeled fury. Each movement flirted with darkness. For years, Mace believed he controlled it. But now, the anger felt easier, natural. He thought of Anakin, of the Senate, of the endless war. His attacks became savage. Droids exploded apart beneath crushing force blows. Metal walls twisted. The room trembled. Mace stopped suddenly, breathing heavily. For the first time in decades, he enjoyed it. And in the darkness beyond Coruscant, Darth Sidious smiled. The revelation. Everything changed the night Palpatine revealed himself. The Chancellor's office was silent, except for distant thunder. Mace stood before him. You requested this meeting urgently. Palpatine turned slowly in his chair. The time has come for the truth. The room darkened, and then the Force shifted. Cold, ancient, terrifying. Mace's eyes widened. You! Palpatine rose. I am Darth Sidious. Mace ignited his lightsaber instantly. Purple light flooded the office, but Sidious did not attack. Instead, he laughed. You've sensed it for years, haven't you? The corruption, the weakness, the lies. Mace added, You've manipulated the Republic. Sidious, yes. Sidious stepped closer, and the Jedi followed it. Mace's blade trembled slightly. They were blind. They are blind, Sidious corrected, while you see clearly. You expect me to join you? No, Sidious smiled. I expect you to do what is necessary. The fall of Mace Windu. Moments later, several Jedi Masters arrived. Kit Fisto, Agent Kolar, Stacey Tin. They prepared to arrest the Chancellor, but something was wrong. Mace stood motionless, thinking. Sidious spoke softly beside him. They will never save the Republic. They are too weak. Kit Fisto stepped forward carefully. Mace, Master Windu? Mace looked up slowly. For the first time in a long time. His eyes burned with rage. They don't understand. What? They never understood what had to be done. Suddenly, his purple blade exploded. Kid Fisto's head fell instantly. The others barely reacted before Mace attacked again. The room exploded into chaos. Sidious watched silently while Mace slaughtered the Jedi Masters beside him. Not out of madness, not out of conviction. When it ended, only Windu remained standing, breathing heavily, purple blade humming. Sidious approached him. Leo, Darth Vader. Mace closed his eyes, then slowly he knelt. The Chosen One. The pain hit him like a knife. Anakin sensed the depths immediately. Obi-Wan found him racing through the temple corridors. What happened? Anakin looked horrified. Master Windu. The temple alarm suddenly activated. Clone troopers flooded the halls. But this time, they weren't hunting Jedi alone. They were hunting anyone loyal to the old order. At the center of the temple stood Darth Vader. Black robes flowed behind Mace Windu, purple blade in hand, cold, calm, terrifying. You were right about me, Anakin whispered. Mace stared at him. No, I was right about the Jedi. You murdered them. They were weak. Anakin ignited his blue blade. You became exactly what you feared. Mace's eyes narrowed. No, I became strong enough to save the galaxy. And the duel erupted. The galaxy shattered. Some Jedi followed Darth Vader, others resisted. Entire star systems became war zones between Jedi factions. The Clone Wars transformed into something worse. A Force war. The Jedi, the temple fought temple, master fought apprentice. Meanwhile, Palpatine crowned himself emperor. But even he began fearing his new apprentice, because Darth Vader was not broken like Anakin would have been. Mace was disciplined, focused, patient, and increasingly independent. Obi-Wan's last hope. On Dagobah, Yoda meditated in exile. The prophecy wrong? Perhaps we were. Obi-Wan shook his head. No, we just misunderstood it. Skywalker was never meant to destroy the Sith alone. Anakin stood nearby silently. Changed, humbled, no longer arrogant, no longer desperate. For the first time in his life, he truly understood fear, loss, failure, and compassion. Obi-Wan looked toward him. The Jedi Order failed, Anakin, but you don't have to. Sidious falls. Years later, the final battle came. Inside the Imperial Palace, Sidious unleashed the torrent of Force lightning across the throne chamber. Anakin and Obi-Wan fought together desperately. Then suddenly, a purple blade erupted through Sidious's chest. Darth Vader stood behind him. Mace looked down coldly. You became weak. Sidious smiled, even while dying. As will you. The Emperor collapsed, dead, at last. But the victory lasted only seconds. Mace turned towards Anakin. Purple eyes glowing yellow. The galaxy needs order. Anakin ignited his saber. No, it needs hope. Gallant. The duel shook Coruscant itself. Blue versus purple, student versus master, destiny versus judgment. Mace fought like a storm. Every movement perfect, every strike deadly. But Anakin had changed. He no longer fought with from anger. No fear, no hatred, only clarity. Finally, Anakin disarmed Mace Windu. Mace collapsed to one knee, defeated, breathing heavy. For the first time in years, the darkness lifted from his eyes. He looked quietly at Anakin. You were the chosen one. Anakin lowered his blade. No, we all had a choice. Tears filled Mace's eyes. Everything he had done, everything he justified, gone. I failed them. Anakin stepped forward. No, the order failed itself. Mace looked out across Coruscant for the one last time. The burning city, the broken republic, the shattered Jedi. He then closed his eyes and became one with the Force. The Empire eventually fell. The Jedi were never rebuilt the same way again. Anakin created something new, a balanced order. One that embraced emotion without surrendering to it. One that sought peace instead of control. The age of Jedi and Sith was over, and somewhere within the Force, Mace Windu finally found the balance he spent his entire life searching for. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I kind of stumbled a little bit on the words. It's still a little bit difficult for me to actually read what I wrote down and then just re-say it through, because I want to improvise so much. But yes, let's talk a little bit about this story. I thought about it. I was looking at what if scenarios, and I said, Anakin, there are always stories of Anakin falling to the dark side. There was always a little bit of stories going around of Obi-Wan falling. But everybody overlooks Mace Windu. So what would happen if he fell? We've seen it throughout the movies, during the Clone Wars series, how he didn't resent Anakin too much. He didn't like his recklessness, his attachments and everything, but you can see there was something there. And I think with Sidious whispering in his ear that same type of poison that he was doing to Anakin, I think Mace would have snapped. No matter how controlled, he would have snapped. And at the end, at least, I had to give him something. I had to let him see the light again. And that's where it ended. Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda came back to probably rebuild the Jedi Order. And made it better. I kept Padme out of this. I think that was too much of a distraction in the original movies and all that. I did not want that to happen. I did not want him to be in that. I did not want Padme in that to be a distraction. So, and Sidious could have told Mace about Padme because he's the one that kind of pushed them together. But I left that out again. This was, directly Mace and Anakin. And in the end, with the temple splitting, I think with everything happening, I think Anakin would have been more focused because he knew if he failed, Padme will be suffering as well as the galaxy. So folks, I hope you enjoy that. I'll be doing more what ifs. And leave a like, a comment, below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your opinions on this story. And again, I'm sorry if I stumble my words a little bit, but hey, I'm still learning as I go. Have a great day and tune back to more. The MonicaVerse. Bye.